Hi everyone, I have a strength pyramid workout for you today. It is upper body focused, specifically biceps, triceps, and shoulders. So unlike our strength and plyo pyramids, this is just straight strength training, but the structure is the same as our express pyramids. So I'm going to give you 6 exercises. First time you go through them, you do them each for 60 seconds, then just 45 seconds, and finally just 30 seconds. For equipment, you're going to want a set of medium-ish weights. If you have access to options, it's nice to have options on hand, some a little lighter, a little heavier. So I have a set of 10s and a set of 8s, which I think will be good. For one of the exercises, I'm thinking I might even want to drop down to 5s, but let's see if I can get through it with 8s and 10s. Go up or down from there to match your level. We will start class with a quick guided warm-up focused on mobility, upper body mobility, and we'll finish up class with a quick cool down, just a couple stretches. At any point, you can modify by just going lighter with the weights. So again, have a lighter set on hand if you'd like. All right, we can start standing for our warm-up. Whole class is going to be standing. And actually, just kidding, before we get to our warm-up, I'm going to show you the exercises. We'll do our warm-up, and then we'll get right into it. First up, you're in a hinged position. It's 2 tricep kickbacks. You're going to hold the second one, and you're going to lower the straight arms, lift the straight arms. 2 kickbacks, 1 straight lift and lower. From there, we're going to do a Y extension with a press up. So you start thumbs down, palms facing forward, and kind of like a cheerleader, you do a tricep kickback, extending those arms, bring them back in, and then you drop the elbows down, just press those weights up in front of you and reverse it. So we got some rotation going down. You might want to go lighter with that one because it does require a bit of control through the shoulders. Next up, we have bicep circle curls, just switching direction at the bottom so your forearms stay parallel. You make a big circle clockwise and then counterclockwise. We're then going to come into a hammer curl hold. You're going to drop and curl right, left, and then you're going to give me a front extension. That front extension is tough, so you might want to go a little lighter for that exercise. Next up, we have another overhead tricep extension variation. So it's going to be a shoulder sweep, kind of like you're making a snow angel. And then at the top, you're going to drop one arm down, kind of at an angle, extension up. And then other sides, you're kind of going at a diagonal. 1 shoulder sweep, single arm tricep extension, right and left. Final exercise. You're going to give me 2 bicep curls, and then it's going to be a cross body raise. So kind of think pinky to the outer edge of the opposite shoulder, right and left. 2 curls, cross body. Okay, so throw that in the back of your mind for later, but first let's just warm it up real quick. So to start standing, neutral through the pelvis, engage through the core, unlock through the knees, and we're going to just do a cat-cow. So as you inhale, we're going to open up the elbows, and we're going to let our rib cage flare open, but staying pretty neutral through the lower back. And then as we exhale, we're going to close the elbows in, and we're going to round forward. Inhale, open up. So it's just like a standing cat-cow. Exhale, round it forward, mobilizing through that mid-spine. Give me one more. And then keep your hands in this position, but just bring the spine up to neutral. And we're going to kind of make a circle, a little sweep with the arms. So first, we're going to straighten them out. Staying open through the chest, we're going to start to sweep them down. And as we do, you're going to rotate within that shoulder joint. Now your palms are facing behind you. Bend the elbows, bring the hands behind your back. We straighten them out, and we start to sweep them up, rotating within the shoulder joint, bend behind your head. So we are trying to stay open through the chest without flaring open through the rib cage. And when we do the rotation, we're thinking of having the rotation happen in our shoulder joint, not just from our forearms, okay? So it's not just below the elbow that's rotating. Really think within the shoulder joint. One more. And this time when you return it up to top, keep your arms straight. We're going to do a hip hinge with an arm sweep. So as the hips hinge back, your arms sweep back. And as you come upright, the arms go overhead. Now we're just going to add in a little opening for the backs of the arms for the triceps. So we're going to add in a tricep kickback at the bottom and at the top. So when you're in your hinge, pause, give me a tricep kickback. And then when you're at the top, you kind of pat yourself on the back, straighten the arms out. Hinge and kick. Come up. Pat yourself on the back. If you mess up the combo, no big deal, just jump back in. Building some heat in the backs of the arms. We do have an exercise in a hinge position, so I also wanted us to open up to the back of the legs a little bit. Next time you come into your hinge, I want you to hold with the arms straight, and we're just going to trace arm circles. So you're going to sweep them up and around. Nice big circles here, maintaining a neutral spine. And switch direction of those circles. Give me 3. 2, 1. Stand it up, and we're going to get into our pyramid. We start with our 60-second round, so toughest one. First up, it's going to be that tricep kickback, 2 of those with the straight arm lift. So I'm going to start with my 8-pound weights for that. So we're going to be in a hinged position. Palms are going to face into midline. Neutral spine engaged to the core, so slide those hips back. You're open through the chest, and then row those elbows back. You're going to keep them lifted. We'll do 2 kickbacks. Squeeze. So don't think swing, think squeeze. On the second one, hold the arm straight, and you're going to lower and lift. 2 kickbacks, 1 straight lift. If the straight lift is a little too much, just stick with your kickbacks, okay? Another way to modify would be to do 1 kickback at a time, holding the other elbow bent, and just alternate 1 and then the other like that the whole time. And rest 15 seconds. Okay, so now we're going to come into a Y extension, that kind of cheerleader move. If you are noticing you're dumping into your back, take a staggered stance, okay? Otherwise, neutral pelvis, thumbs point down, palms face forward, so a little funky starting position. From here, you kick those arms straight, bring them back in, and now you're going to drop the elbows, bring the palms together, and give me a little press up. And then we rotate, flipping those palms. So we're getting triceps here on the extension. We're getting biceps and shoulders on the press up. Use your exhale to stay connected to your abdominal wall. And again, that staggered stance can help if you kind of kickstand one foot behind the other if you notice yourself sinking into your lower back. And rest. So up next is circle curls. I'm going to challenge myself and go up to my 10s for this one. So we just switch direction at the bottom. You start standing, open through the chest, neutral spine, palms face forward. And you're going to do a circle curl clockwise and then counterclockwise. Your forearms stay pretty parallel. Now, as you do this, try not to let your shoulders roll forward. So that is important. So you're kind of engaged through your mid-back, actually, to maintain the upright posture. And do what feels best for you. Maybe it feels more natural to do a couple reps in the same direction before switching, so you're not switching at the bottom every time. You can absolutely do that. Notice if you're swaying back with your body to do this. Try not to, okay? So we're staying upright. I caught myself swaying back. Woo, and rest. So up next, we have hammer curl right, hammer curl left, and then front extension. Because we're doing that front extension, I'm going back down to my 8s for this one. So you start at a 90-degree bend, kind of in an isometric hold, and then we'll drop and curl one side, then the other, and then both arms together, extend out and up, and then you bring it back into 90. So I'll just show you from a side version. Oops, as I do it wrong. Drop one side, the other, front extension, back to that 90-degree hold. As you extend forward, try not to counter it by leaning your body back. So you're bracing through the core as you do it. and rest. All right, so up next is going to be a shoulder sweep with a single arm tricep extension at the top. So you start, I'm going to stay with my 8s, palms facing forward. We're going to sweep both arms up overhead. This is another one where the staggered stance might be helpful. So we're going to circle it up like a snow angel at the top. Tricep extension one side. Again, it's kind of at an angle. So think pinky side of your hand presses out. And then we, with control, sweep it down. Control, so try to hold the elbow still so you're not wobbling through the upper arm as you do that tricep overhead extension. So we're getting triceps and shoulders here. If going one arm at a time isn't working for you, I want you to bring the weights together at the top, push the weights together and do both arms at the same time, okay? That's going to help with stability. Try not to bend at the wrist. And rest. Okay, so now we got bicep curls, 2 of those. I'm going to go back to my 10s, and then cross body raise, right and left. Final 60-second interval. So 2 curls, palms to shoulders, palms to shoulders. And then we go right and left. Think pinky to opposite shoulder. So you lift up pinky towards opposite shoulder. Other side. 2 curls. So as I lift, I'm going palm up. So there's rotation happening here. Curl, curl, palms facing shoulders at the top. Cross body. Keep it up. Oh, and rest. Okay, you get a longer recovery here, okay, before we drop down to our 45-second intervals. In fact, you get a full minute. I know that seems like a long time. It is, fair amount. But that is because I want you to be able to stick with the heavy weights, or at least work towards doing that. I don't want you to have to drop down lighter. So there's definitely an endurance element to this. 60 seconds, that's a long interval, so is 45. But I don't want it to be such an endurance focus that we can't push ourselves with the weight. So you have a full minute here. I'm going to start from the top. We'll do 45-second long intervals. So we got 2 tricep kickbacks, 1 straight arm lift. I'm going with my 8s. With triceps, shoulders, I'm going a little lighter. With the straight bicep work, I'm going with my 10s. So let's find that hinge position. Roll your elbows back. 2 kickbacks. Again, think squeeze. So there's a little pause when they're straight, and then you hold straight as you lower and lift them up high. Keep length through the back of your neck. And rest. So we're going to do that Y extension into the press up. So continuing to work triceps, we'll also get shoulders and biceps. The starting position, a little funky, palms face forward, thumbs point down, elbows are lifted a little higher than your hands. Neutral through the pelvis, brace through the core. So Y extension, bring the weights back together. Rotate palms in towards each other, press those weights up in front, and flip them. So go slowly through this one, all right? We want controlled rotation as we change the position from thumbs up, thumbs down. Or I guess thumbs aren't pointing up, but they're pointing in towards you, and then they point down. Not swinging the weights around, not using momentum to our advantage. And rest. Okay, so we're going to do circle curls. I'm going to go up to my 10s. You do not need to be switching weights as long as you're sticking with the weights that are challenging for you. You're doing great. Palms face forward. Forearms are going to stay pretty parallel. Circle one way, circle the other. Using our biceps to move the weights, not using a counter rock of our body, okay? So as the weights come up, you shouldn't be rocking back and forward, okay? Curling up on the exhale can help prevent that rocking because it's just going to help you connect to your core a little better. Staying slightly unlocked through the knees also helps. And a gentle engagement through your glutes can help hold the pelvis at neutral. Oh, and rest. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my 8s. We have those hammer curl, front extension. We start with that isometric hold at the 90-degree angle, palms facing towards each other. This is a good one to do facing the side. So 90-degree bend. Drop and curl one side, drop and curl the other. Front extension, weights push out and up. Bring the elbows back in. Your arms do not have to get all the way straight when you do that front extension, by the way. And rest. So we're going to do that snow angel motion, that sweep, single arm tricep extension, right and left. So palms face forward at the bottom, open through the chest. So think shoulder blades gently together and down your spine. So we're broad across our chest. So we sweep the arms up overhead, keeping the weights pretty wide, palms facing forward. Bend at the elbow without bending at the wrist. One each side, stabilizing through the arm as you do that. Be mindful you're not flaring open through the rib cage and sinking into your lower back. If you are, I would suggest taking that staggered kind of kickstand stance. That can help. And rest. All right, final exercise, 2 bicep curls, cross body right, left. So I'm going to go back to my 10s, even though I could probably stick to 8s for these. The cross body lift is tough. Neutral pelvis, upright, 2 curls, rotating, palms into shoulders. And then think pinky to opposite shoulder as you lift across. You're unlocked through the elbow, but the arm is extended fairly straight on those. Think of resisting on the way down, so you're not just letting gravity yank your arm back down. You are in control of the lowering. So you're working in both directions. And rest. Okay, take 45. So final round coming up. It's our short one, just 30 seconds in exercise. It's going to feel really quick, especially after the previous 2 rounds, okay? So take 45. I want you to have ample recovery time in between these sets so you can push yourself with the weights. We'll start at the top, those tricep kickbacks. You know what to expect. Tricep kickback, 2 of those, 1 straight arm lift. Go into my 8s. We'll find that hinged position. Open through the chest. Slide those hips back. Roll the elbows back, palms face in. And let's go. 2 kickbacks. On the second one, hold it straight, lower, and lift. Again, think squeeze it straight, squeeze. Hold that squeeze as you lift and lower. Rest. All right, we have that Y extension to that press up. So we'll start thumbs pointing down, palms facing forward, elbows lifted. Option to take that staggered stance if it helps you prevent dumping into your lower back. Let's go. And this is one that you might have to go pretty light with, okay? If you lack the shoulder mobility, the rotation from this position to this position can feel a little funky, so don't be afraid to go light. And rest. Okay, we're going to come into circle curls. I'm going up to my 10s. Palms face forward, forearms stay parallel, circle clockwise, counterclockwise, switch at the bottom. Let's go. Oh, rest. Hammer curl, front extension. I'm going to my 8s because of that front extension. We got 3 exercises to go. Okay, we got this. So palms face in. We'll start in that 90-degree hold with the isometric as we drop one, drop the other. Let's go. Drop one, hammer curl. Other hammer curl. Front extension. Pull it back into 90. Drop one. While the other does that isometric hold. Try not to counter the press forward of the weights with the rock back of your body, so your core is working here as well. Rest. All right, so we have that shoulder sweep, think snow angel, single arm tricep overhead extension at the top, right and then left. Palms face forward at the bottom and the top. Let's go. Big circle, sweep it up. Bend at one elbow, think diagonal. And circle it down. So a challenge of this one is stabilizing the upper arm as you do that tricep extension. And rest. All right, final exercise, 2 bicep curls, crossbody lift. I'm going to my 10s. Last 30 seconds, then quick cool down. I'll bring you through a couple stretches. So we start palms face in towards each other. We rotate palms in towards our chest as we curl up. So we're mixing in rotation here. 2 curls. And then we lift right and left. Think pinky edge of your hand to the opposite shoulder. If curling both arms at the same time is too much, alternate, go right and then left. Oh, and done. Awesome work. Weights go down. All right, I'm going to bring you through a couple quick stretches. Let me just shut my timer off. To start, I want you to take your right arm forward, and then I want you to pull the fingers down and back towards you, palm forward, to get a stretch through the front of the wrist and the forearm. It also can feel good after gripping weights to open up the hand like that. So I like this stretch. Let's take it over to the other side. We'll do a tricep stretch up next. Take your right elbow up, and then it's like you're patting yourself on the back. Left hand gently pulls back on that elbow. And let's switch sides. Releasing that arm, I want you to interlace your fingers behind your back and then press the knuckles away, opening up through the chest. And then from here, reach your arms up. So we get this nice stretch through the front of our shoulders. From here, I want you to take your stance nice and wide and keeping your knuckles interlaced if possible. We're just going to forward fold, knuckles up towards the ceiling. And from here, it can feel good to rotate side to side just a little bit. Stay in your forward fold, but release the hands and just let them hang heavy. From here, you can grab opposite elbow with opposite hand, and let's just have a little upper body release. I want you to sway side to side. You can kind of bend into one knee at a time. Just let everything go. Settling in the center. You can release your arms. You're going to heel toe your feet in towards each other. And slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, you're going to come up to standing. Inhale, the arms sweep up. Exhale, let them go. And that is your class. I hope you liked it, and I'll see you next time.